Hey guys, sorry for such a long pause between videos. I know it's super lame, but here's what's been going on. First of all, everything is on track to finish the bike, so that's not an issue. There were two big obstacles that kind of ground things to a halt though. For starters, I couldn't find an exhaust header pipe that would fit. Everything seems designed for a right-hand shifting bike, where the brake lever is actually on the left. The header I got from Hitchcock's didn't fit as the brake lever is in the way, which pushed it about 3 inches too high on the aluminum head. I got another header pipe from a second source and it was the same thing. I then found one in India and it was identical to the pipe I took off the bike at the beginning of this restoration. That was just a cheap aftermarket exhaust and not stock, and that's why I tossed it. I mean, it was banged up, it was rusted, a lot of chrome was peeling off. Although in hindsight, I probably would have kept it and just had it refinished. I just didn't anticipate this being such a headache given what was advertised on sites like Hitchcock's. Anyway, it took like a month for the one from India to get here, and it wasn't even the one I ordered. What was in the picture was correct, but the one I got was completely different, had the wrong brackets, everything was just wrong. Although it was cheap enough, it wasn't even worth trying to return. The best solution is to just go with a high mount trail style exhaust. It's not the look I wanted, but I've got to say it is growing on me. Nothing's going to be in the way and it will definitely fit and it will probably sound really good as well. It's wide open. I haven't done anything with the carb yet because of all this. I now need to rejet it a little bit different because the high mount exhaust is different than the one I wanted that was, the traditional low mount. So I was waiting for a final decision before I can really move forward with that. So that's just the first problem. The second one involves a new clutch basket. It's not grabbing properly and won't engage when I slowly use the Kickstarter. I can't even get the piston to cycle once, which would just ensure that the push rods and the bearings and everything is just moving properly and so on. I now have a different clutch basket and plates that I'm going to try, so I'll install those next and hope it solves the problem. So the next video will be me trying to solve these last minute pains in the ass and hopefully get everything back on track. And if you're wondering, it's not because I oiled the clutch plates that you saw a while ago. And even if I used totally the wrong oil, it still would not be slipping this easily. I mean, barely any pressure on it and it's just slipping. I'll also need to remove this right-hand side box to get the high mount exhaust to fit. But that's not a big deal. That's just unbolts, comes right off. Also, I did some work on my new Suzuki a couple of days ago. The warning stickers that they throw on these things, which I think is outright vandalism, left marks on the matte paint. I mean, imagine buying a new car and huge and somewhat permanent stickers were on the hood that said, "Wear your seatbelt and only use unleaded gas." I can't believe they put stickers like this on motorcycle gas tanks. Anyway, it wasn't horrible, but it almost looked like the stickers were put on before the paint fully cured. And when I was at the dealer for something else entirely, I just mentioned it, and some 20-something-year-old kid behind the counter.
May I help you?
I guess he thought he was going to impress me, and he ran out there with polish and literally ruined the tank. You cannot use any kind of polish or wax on matte paint. And honestly, anyone working at a motorcycle dealership should know this.
You idiot!
So, a minor issue turned into a big one, and I had this bright spot in the middle of my tank the size of a tennis ball. And the bike wasn't even a month old at this point. Fortunately, I know the right people, and I was actually able to get a new tank shipped to me. I just had to transfer my gas cap and fuel pump and some installation hardware. And now it is perfect. Look at that. And what's cool is the tank did not come with warning stickers on it. So there was no issue there. So it is just an absolutely perfect finish now. So there you go. But back to the Enfield. Again, I'm really sorry that there's been this huge gap between videos. I mean, I've just been really busy lately. I've been kind of in and out of town with work. And, when I started this, I sort of had a set amount of time that I thought I was going to be able to finish it in. And I also had a lot of time to work on it. And the problem is there were just so many parts delays that it just sort of pushed it beyond that window.
Come on!
And now I'm really busy again with work, and that's just kind of why I haven't been able to shoot the videos I've been wanting to. You know, I've been trying to put a new video out every week, but trust me, I want to get this finished more than anyone.
Trust me.
I'm also going to start reviewing some of these bikes next week, and I can do that and work on the Enfield at the same time. So moving forward, there's going to be consistent content again, and I really appreciate you guys being patient, and I'll see you soon.